Yeah. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Broke on advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the decks, you're not bullish enough. Trade it in the segs, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Joggle beat. OnChain Revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity. Flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain Revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gon' end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain Revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's. Yeah. OnChain Revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain Revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action. Yeah, send it to the deck. Yeah, sell it through the spec. Ordinal's the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin and crypto markets. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We are live from the OnChain Hour, and this one is going to be awesome, guys, because we are now on the very last day of March. We are now on the very last day of Q1, about to enter April, about to enter Q2. And there is a lot of reasons to be bullish, right? And the main one right now, in my opinion, is the M2 money supply, an 11th week lag. I have a chart that is identical to what Bitcoin is going through right now. We might have a little bit more downtrend, but guys, when it's time to get bullish, you're going to be blown away. I know you're going to be Shizzy. You're always so bullish, man. I can't help it. Like, I really can't help it. I'm long-term bullish on this market. I'm long-term bullish on crypto. I have everything in crypto. My entire faith, everything is in crypto right now. I truly believe if you are here now, and I know I said this so many times, but if you are here now, if you're one of the people that are watching right now, I promise you're going to make it. I promise you that you will have the tools that you need to succeed. I promise you that. And that's what we're going to bring to you every single day. My energy is high. I am ready for the show. I am ready for the day. I am ready for this week. And I am ready for Q2. So without further ado, we're bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Iago B. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up, man? How you feeling? You ready for Q2?
Yeah, I mean, your intro there pumped me up, got me some extra energy I needed this morning, on top of my energy drink and my energy mints and my energy gum. I think I'm too overstimulated every day. But yeah, I mean, look, we had a couple great weeks last week. Ended kind of sour, but it seems like we're bouncing back right now as we speak. And I think there's a lot of good catalysts to continue to look forward to. And so let's see how, the next couple of weeks play out, right? That's what the expectation is. 2 days. Well, is it the second, which would be Wednesday. That's whenever the reciprocal tariffs happen. I think a lot of people have that psychological kind of event that they need to cross over. And then once we get past that, it's forward looking. And that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, 100%. I just want to show this chart real quick because this is something everyone's talking about on X right now. So this is the M2 money supply. This is 11 weeks, right? So everyone's just kind of taking it 10 weeks, 11 weeks, right? But when you put it over the 11th week, dude, you cannot tell me that this thing is not almost to the T. This is like the most perfect over chart, and it is following it pretty much to the extent of those of the 10-week lag. And we're about to enter the bottoming position of this, right? And this is kind of the bottoming position for about 2 months in the M2 money supply before they just rip the money printers up. And Bitcoin's very similar to that, right? And Bitcoin has always been a little bit higher, especially this year, than the M2 money supply, and then of here. So I'm kind of expecting us to kind of follow that trend and stay a little above it. But bro, this is going to take us from, I want to say, we'll go from May all the way until maybe August, mid-July, August, for this to kind of go sideways again, which could be the next leg of Bitcoin. We could be at 150, 165, going into the second part of this lag, and before we kind of sit sideways till maybe till Q4.
So what you're telling me is maybe one more month of chop kind of consolidation and then on to the upside, which I really, really hope, we've been using really strong historical trending data in the past.
Yeah.
And even the CPI one, everybody saw that, right? Like
Yeah.
5 in a row hit. And then the one time that I use it, it skips, right? So this one is the one that I feel like, okay, come on, we can do this. Let's do this together. Everybody sees that
Yeah.
this looks like really strong data. So, yeah, it does get me excited. And possibly we have a summer that's more bullish than typical.
I mean, you can't sell in May to go away if you have nothing to sell, right? So, I mean, that's one initiative to that, though. But like, you might say, like, look, like M2 money supply is going, but where's that money going? And it's going to gold. Gold again is
Ooh.
absolutely ripping. We're at a new all-time high again today. Let's jump into this chart here. But gold, so we have something here. I'll kind of get into a second after. I just want to show you guys what is going on with gold. So this is the gold on the daily, guys. New all-time high every single day. The most bullish chart in the world here, and a lot of that M2 money supply is going into gold. Bitcoin is looked at as gold to a lot of people, especially to crypto guys, right? It's a store of value. It's the greatest asset in the world. It's better than gold. People can argue because of the fact that everything's on chain, and I can see where everything's at, and I know there's no new Bitcoin entering the market. Potentially someone can find more gold, right? So in my opinion, Bitcoin is a better version of gold, but people are buying gold up.
Why do you think that is? I know we had a little discussion pre-show, but do you feel like this is maybe one of the last kind of I don't know, like big hurrahs for gold, or do you think gold continues as like this asset that is looked at as kind of like one of the safest kind of fallbacks? Or I mean, because I know previously your perception has been
Yeah.
like gold will fade and Bitcoin will take over, but this is telling us a little different story.
Yes, someone's stacking gold, right? Somebody is doing it in historical levels. Maybe a lot of older guys. I think there's, we call them old money for a reason, right? They're old money because they've had money their entire lives and they've been stacking. And in the last 20 years, if you had assets, you made out like a bandit. I mean, assets have gone up 200-300% against inflation, right? Like, so I think people are just kind of, they're in cash right now, and they just need somewhere to put it to try and make money or try and at least keep that value, right? And in 2020, it was homes. A lot of people were buying up homes, and now it seems like it's gold. But old money isn't buying crypto yet, right?
Yeah.
So that's
They're
the
like
biggest thing to me.
shaking. They're kind of shaking
Yeah.
real quick, and they're like, "This is what I know. This is
Yep.
what I know right
Exactly.
now. This
Exactly.
is safe. This is what I know. And if I don't want to hold my cash, then I'm going to put it here." That makes a lot of
Yep.
sense.
That's what it is, right? But then those people are going to fade off, and their kids who've grown up with the computers and grown up with the debit cards and been teaching those old parents how to use, E-Trade and how to see their
How to
accounts
pay their bills
online, how to
online.
pay their, they're going to take over, and that's when we're going to get digital age. Do I think gold's going to fade off? When I'm alive, probably not. But when my grandkids are alive, I don't think gold will be as seen as this store of value as it once was, which is fine, right? Everything in time fades away. Like I don't think Bitcoin will ever fade away, but who knows? Maybe the next generation doesn't see it the way we do, right? So I just think gold had its time, but hey, old money says one last run, and that's what this could be. I don't know, but real quick though, since we're on that topic, I just want to hit on something. This Bob Lucas put out. Here it is right here. So he put out this tweet. He goes 12 billion in gold ETF flows just the last 2 months up to this point. It was the ETH spot buying, not ETF. He's saying the $12 billion that went into gold ETFs is not moving this market. I mean, gold is potentially a $10 trillion asset. 12 billion ETF flow is not going to do anything to the price. It's actually the East is spot buying, not ETF, not retail driven market. Now the speculative market flows are coming. So now you're seeing, as gold hit it all time, now you're seeing retail. Now you're seeing the ETFs kind of flow in. But previously, this was the East buying. So my question to you is, China kind of seeing everyone kind of fall into this Bitcoin thing, and China being, old money. I mean, China is one of the places old money really exists. They're actually buying up gold.
It makes sense though, because we were on the live stream for BTV with Michael, and that channel is a Chinese Mandarin channel that has a big audience. And we asked him, what is the everyday crypto Chinese crypto user, what's their strategy right now? And he said basically they are staying away from risk. They don't want to spend their precious Bitcoin. So I imagine if the crypto community in China thinks this way, then the regular community in China thinks the way of, they don't want to trust their banking system. They don't want to trust other things right now. And they're putting their money into gold because that's what they know too. Right. So like the person that doesn't really trust crypto yet in China is trusting gold. And the ones that are in crypto in China, they're just sticking to Bitcoin. So it's like this kind of conservative mentality in the East. And it makes sense, that because there's a lot of people in China that probably aren't in the crypto yet, even though that market is still big. But the one thing about his statement that we haven't talked about yet is the last part. It says now the speculative flows are coming, meaning that he thinks that like there's this conservative movement with gold and all that stuff, and that's been going on for a while, and eventually it's going to cross over and get a little bit more risk on.
People who are making money with gold, I mean, could be rotating into Bitcoin in the next few weeks as retail comes in and buys up gold. The smart money who's been buying since down here at 2,600, 2,400 down here, they're actually possibly selling this tip here, and then you're going to see retail come in and get destroyed like they do every single time. So but we'll see what happens next. I'm going to be following this, and we'll talk about it on the show each day this week and kind of see what is going on. But I do see a lot of money coming from gold going into Bitcoin, but who knows who knows how long that's actually going to take. But let's kind of jump into some news from today. We got BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, somebody who I think is a terrible person, but he's a Bitcoiner, says US dollar is at risk of losing its reserve status too. He didn't say Bitcoin. I mean, he didn't say gold. He said Bitcoin, which is crazy. Larry Fink is, I don't know. What do you think about this statement?
I think that he can't really say gold because gold it's not. I don't think gold could ever be a reserve currency, just because you don't know exactly what, like you mentioned before, you don't know exactly what the supply is and all that stuff. So it is I think it's a solid store of value, right? But with Bitcoin, it's on the blockchain, so you see everything, plus it's getting this adoption to where people are utilizing it to purchase things like on-chain economy. We see that right now. There's builders coming in from more of like a VC corporate kind of mentality, building in Bitcoin here, probably going to release products in the next 6 to 12 months. And so it's already being used, right? You don't really use gold to trade for anything. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe like a one-off here and there, like someone says, hey, I'll give you gold for this or whatever, but it's not like Bitcoin. And so I think that's why he's saying that. Also, the amount of debt that he's talking about for the US dollar it's I think from a global perspective is just becoming more and more revealed, especially with this current administration basically saying, hey, look at all this mess that our government has created. And so the world's kind of like, they already knew, but now they're kind of like, you know what I mean? So that's why I think he's saying it. We'll see what happens. The stable coin situation I think could help it as long as it doesn't get out of control, but we'll see.
Yeah, 100%. And it was fun. I recently seen a video from Trump in 2016. He came out and he said, you know, our debt is it's insane. It's absolutely crazy. It's over $20 trillion. And in my head, I'm like, we're at 37, 8 years later. Like, Mr. Trump, you have no idea what is coming. 2016 Trump, you have no idea the amount of. We went from 26 trillion in 2020 to 37 trillion in 2025. In
It's
5 years,
crazy.
we've increased the debt by over 30-40%. Like, it is absolutely wild the amount of debt. So I think Larry Fink is seeing that. He's seeing the charts, he's seeing the debt get out of control. But we do have guys like Elon trying to fix the deficit, but we're going to need major cuts to get through that, and it's probably going to take 20-30 years for us just to get back to like like a normal state of like maybe 20 trillion in debt or something crazy. But hopefully Bitcoin can be a reserve currency and actually do what some of these Cynthia Loomis and stuff like that is actually predicting, where, and Michael Saylor as well, potentially could help pay down the debt as well. So but moving along here, Circle, the issuer of USDC, has hired JP Morgan and Citi for its long-awaited IPO, with the public filing expected by late April. This could be something that really kicks off the bull run here. Circle is one of the largest crypto companies besides Tether and a few other ones that could be making this jump this year, right? You're gonna see. We saw eToro do it last week. Circle is gonna jump in here. Circle being, their majority is crypto. The majority of their company is crypto, just like Coinbase, right? So actually having an IPO is going to be absolutely insane for them, and I think it's really smart, because you're gonna see a lot of stable coins come in, and they're going to need money to build. And we all know when you go public, you're able to sell stock into the open market whenever you want to potentially build the next thing and the next thing. So this is really big for Circle. I'm really happy, but Brian Armstrong is looking like a genius right now, because he's like one of the lead investors in Circle.
Yeah, but I think this was expected by him, right? That's why he
Yeah.
put it in there. And Circle's gotten a lot of support from these, U.S. corporations, the financial corporations that have kind of dabbled within crypto, not gone fully in. But, the one thing that I'm going to be paying attention to is, how does this roll into kind of like these retail products, maybe from
Yeah.
like the banking side, right? Because Circle is kind of wanting to stay away from offering these stablecoin yields to retail users, but I think they're going to have to, because they're going to be one of the biggest entities with stablecoins in the U.S. That probably the biggest, right? Tether is not considered in the U.S., I don't think.
El
But
Salvador.
yeah, so JP Morgan being kind of like this consultant, it seems like, has hired JP Morgan for this IPO. I wonder how they're going to do it, because there's going to be there's right now what's happening, guys, is a huge movement with stable coins within the US. Across the ocean, the EU is doing CBDC. We're doing more of like this corporate kind of capitalistic approach competition, but making sure they follow the guidelines. So there's going to be multiple stablecoin issuers, but who's going to offer the best kind of products to the public? And I think that's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, the US doesn't want to pick a winner, right? It's kind of like, just let them all go, and then whoever's is the top dog, that's potentially who will start. Because the US is eventually going to have to start using stable coins in the future, in my opinion, because the old way of wiring money and stuff like that, everything needs to be on chain. We need to see where these payments are going, and the only way really to do that is having a stable coin. So I love the way they're doing this, because there is no CBDC, there is no government stable coin, but they're going to see who's winning the race, whether that's Circle, whether that's PayPal, whether that's Stripe, and so on and so on. They're gonna let the market decide who the winner is, and then choose depending on the relationships that they have with those founders, right? And I can definitely see that coming, or pick multiple, right? Because the banks aren't going to really care what stablecoin they receive, as long as that funds come in and the funds go out. It's not going to matter. So we'll see. We'll see a really open competition, and I'm excited for it, because it's gonna, with competition, opens up a lot of a lot of growth, a lot of good things going to be happening, especially for the American people, because potentially yields could be awesome for just dollars.
Well, I think that's when capitalism works best, right? It's whenever you say, okay, this is a new industry, let's see, because what happens when capitalism works well is There's a couple industry leaders, but then, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 maybe start to really have really good performance, really good backing. And then what does that do? That builds trust in the public, right?
Yeah.
So the publics are, okay, I can use this because I know it's back like this. Oh, I had this situation happen, but then they took care of it right away.
Yep.
The ones that will fall off are the ones that find themselves in bad business management early on. Because what you do is you become a leader, and then you start working with government and saying, hey, look, you know, just in case, you never know what could happen in this world, but we got to be able to protect our consumers. And that's when capitalism works best. Now, obviously, with any system, there's going to be like some downside, and greed is part of that with capitalism. But if this can work well in terms of picking the winners to where they pick based off of performance and, you know, strength, that's going to be what picks the winners, in my opinion.
Yep, 100% agree, man. Couldn't agree more. Moving along here. So on average, Bitcoin goes up 12.9% in April. How do you think it will perform this April? So I have a chart to go with this. So this is kind of March. Is this right? Are we pretty flat in March? I don't really know.
I think
I don't
so.
think
I
so.
mean,
Yeah.
I
think
think
we're at 80.
I think we ended February pretty low, right?
Yeah.
So we're at, let me see here. So we ended February, we ended the price was, we're there 84,652, or maybe, sorry, a little bit lower. Yeah, you know, 84,652. So that makes sense.
Okay.
I guess 0.1%. Yeah.
So 17% drop in February, plus 9% in January. You know, on average, they're saying, you know, 12%, so which would put Bitcoin back at around 90,000, 96,000 in that range there. And then that could lead us into a very bullish May, right? So up, I can definitely see up 12, 14% easily in April, if not a little bit more. And who knows what happens in May, June, July. I mean, according to the M2 money supply, we could have the next 4 months really bullish before some maybe a red August.
Yeah. And a lot of times, if you come out of kind of like a not so like bullish month, it might start off kind of not so great in the new month.
Yeah.
But, you know, after a week or so, it starts to get that bullish energy. So, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we do get green, and maybe, I don't know, even. And then we'll see. We'll see if the M2 money supply really, you know, lines up. I would expect, I mean, you showed those charts and it looks pretty much identical with just a little bit of Bitcoin being on top. Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's kind of like anomalies, right? I think it's what, that one that peaked up there and that one that peaked down. But
yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
100%. Yeah. All right. So the next thing here is Ethereum is about to close Q1 with its worst returns 2018. If we have a 12% potential for Bitcoin, what do you think we potentially have with ETH? With ETH having the worst quarter that it's ever had. I mean, I guess not worst ever. We had 40, we had minus 46 here, minus 48. So, but it's competing. It's competing with these, right? So minus 42% in a long time. I mean, a long time. So we're talking like 8 years.
Yeah. 2018.
Oh no!
Crazy.
Wait a minute. 2022 is really bad. Never mind. It's bad, but I guess it has been worse.
Yeah. Well, that was the destruction of, like, that was officially, we're in the bear market, right? Yeah. Look, Ethereum, this cycle has just really, you know, 2025 too. It's just been bad. Like, you know, from the start of this year, it's really bad. And so, but people are, you know, picking it up. They're picking it up because I think that they realize that, hey, look, you know, whether Ethereum is losing volume, whether it's doing all these things, it's still the number 2 market cap of all, you know, crypto. And I think that no matter, let's say it just gets back to 4,000, right? If these institutions that are buying a lot are buying at, like, you know, 1,800, 1,700, 2,000, you know, they're still going to double their money. And for them, that's a big win. You know what I mean? That they feel like, okay, at the very minimum, we'll get back to 4K in Q4 while everything else is running. But I think, like, they know that if everything's running, that it'll probably find a new all-time high, maybe like 55 or something. And to them, that's a big win. It's almost kind of like a little bit of a safe play, even though right now everybody's like, Ethereum, disgusting. You know what I mean? But then I think they realized that, okay, Ethereum's not going anywhere. It's not gonna go defunct. The chain's gonna continue, so at least we should be able to make this. And like worst case scenario, things are running and you're able to get it back to like 3,500. That's like worst case scenario, I feel like, but who knows?
Yeah.
This cycle has been surprising for sure.
100%. And the who controls the ETH controls the chain, right? So Coinbase controls 11.4% of all the staked ETH. So Coinbase has say in ETH. Coinbase can pretty much direct ETH the way it wants to go. Is this scary for this much centralization to come from Coinbase? We know that Coinbase doesn't own all this ETH personally, but we do know that its users are delegating their ETH to Coinbase to control it. Is Coinbase holding this much each bullish for price action and potentially bearish for centralization, right? What do you think about this?
Well, yeah, so that is kind of scary, right? Them owning that much. But I think let's kind of zoom out here. I think Coinbase is going to have success with Base, right? I think that's going to happen, and they're not going to launch a token for the gas on that. And Ethereum is what people use, right? So I was just asking myself while you were talking about this, like, when was the last time I bought ETH? Instantly I was thinking like main chain, like ETH layer 1, but I was like, I haven't. But then I was like, yeah, actually I have. I got it for Base whenever Virtuals was hot. Abstract. I got it for Abstract. So I actually think, because of that, it's smart, in my opinion, to probably acquire Ethereum, because like I feel like if ETH fails, then Base has to pivot. They got to figure out what they're going to do. And they're not going to do that. So they're going to make sure, in my opinion, that Ethereum doesn't fail, because there's just too much tied to it. You know what I mean? Arbitrum as well. Abstract, like you said, Abstract's actually been kind of crushing it silently lately, with their TVL going up and stuff. And they're true ZK kind of, layer. So I don't know.
Not to mention, Animoca Brands has partnered with Sony's Sony-owned blockchain to launch Anime ID and invest.
What do they
in
use
interrogate
for gas?
Mocha, Ethereum.
Exactly.
They're an ETH too. Again, this is an Animoca has partnered with Sony's Sonium. So you're seeing crypto companies actually go to Sonium now. Again, they need ETH to succeed. Like, they need ETH to be, this is just, as I've never been more bullish on Ethereum in my entire life. Seeing Coinbase own 11%, seeing Sonium need it, seeing Arbitrum need it, Optimism need it. Everyone who's building on Optimism, we're seeing chain after chain come from these Coinbase clones because they're all using Optimism. It's if you're not bullish on crypto right now for the long term, I'm not saying for next week, for 2 weeks down the line, I'm saying for 6 to 8 to 12 months to 2 years down the line, you are just not paying attention, and you probably are not going to make it, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with that. But you definitely have to do deeper research and kind of put the puzzles together, right, for the future.
What research? Animoca Brands is partnered with Sonium, who uses ETH. Coinbase uses ETH. Like, it's just abstract.
So that's what I mean. So like taking like a headline from what we talk about and then going deeper and saying, okay, this is big. This is, Sony's going to rely on the success of Ethereum. Base is ran by Coinbase, so they're not going to let that fail. All these things are kind of, but it's hard sometimes, because the people that, including ourselves, that listen every day, we're in the trenches still. We're kind of like, oh, I just got just wrecked the other day, like trying to do something and all this stuff, moving things around. But it's almost,
but again, that's short term though, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking 2 years down the line.
But doesn't it almost kind of seem like the big entities probably love the fact that everybody's like crapping on Ethereum right now? They love it. They're just kind of like, yes, keep it low, keep it cheap.
100%, dude. You're see asset managers gobbling the shit up right now while retail is selling. Again, I've said it multiple times. The rich does not buy rips. They're not buying ETH at 4K. They're buying it now at 17, 1800, and they're going to sell to you at 5,000. The rich does not buy rips. They're very patient. They're calculated with their moves. They're buying now while you're scared. And that's what's going on with Ethereum, in my opinion, right now. That is why Ethereum's getting ripped to pieces right now, is because they're waiting for you to sell. They're taking it up to 2,000, letting you sell it back down to 17. They're ripping it back up to 2,200, letting you sell it back down to them. And they're just calculated with their moves. They're calculated with their positions, and they're calculated on owning a piece of potential for the future, right? I mean, I mean, this is the first time in history where they were actually able to buy ETH on in the stock market, right? As an ETF or as a trust and stuff like that, so on and so on. So really looking forward to seeing what happens to ETH. But let's get back to Bitcoin. Strategy has acquired 22,000 more Bitcoin for 1.92 billion at an average price of 86,969. So they were definitely buying on Monday and Tuesday because I don't even remember it at 86,000. Bringing its total holdings to 528,000 Bitcoin worth 35.63 billion dollars. Trillion. I should put my finger up. But yeah, so again, and look at this chart too. This is all the sailors buys right now. Obviously, there's never any sells, but absolutely insane how much he has bought in 2024 and 2025. Just doubling the amount of buys he has done previous years, right? So insane.
It is insane. My question is, does he like? There's gonna be a period of time where he just like stops, right?
No, I don't know. If Bitcoin's price goes up, he has more leverage. The stock price of his company goes up. So I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
So you know, people are talking on the timeline. Obviously, this has been like a long conversation about like if we go into a hard bear market, like he could be exposed and all that stuff. But it depends on like how much Bitcoin like increases, right? So if we're sitting at 85,000 right now, but the expectation is for this at the end of the cycle, let's say the cycle ends in mid 2026 and Bitcoin is topped off at like, let's just say it's topped off at 400K or something, right? Then it pulls back in a bear market, still much higher than here, you know what I mean? Where we are right now. And so I just feel like it would be really, really hard if Bitcoin gets to those kind of expected goals of price for him to get, in really hot water. The only thing would be like a complete collapse of it, which, we don't see happening.
We've seen him in hot water before, right? And
that's true.
Look what he does. Like he continues the buy. Like he bought, look how spaced out his purchases were. July, he didn't buy again until September. Then he bought the FTX dip in December, and then he continues the buy. Like it's spaced out in the bear markets. His buys are spaced out. In bull markets, his buys are no spaces at all. Like it's just like I don't know. It's just insane. And that's the thing. If Bitcoin does hit numbers where I'm thinking Michael Saylor is he could sell 10% of the Bitcoin and pay back all of his loans.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I don't think he's ever sell his Bitcoin, but he can take loans out on his Bitcoin to pay off all of his loans. Like I don't know what you do in
loans
that situation.
To pay loans. I don't know.
I mean, that's what the rich do, right? Like they take out loans to pay off loans because they get new debt at better pricing.
But what's he gonna pay for the new loan? Because he has to pay the interest or whatever, right?
Well, he has all that new Bitcoin he just bought. Take a loan out against, right? These banks are gonna let him do it. It's just he's leveraged to
until he gets better and better rates until it's like 0.001%. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, but it'll be free at that. So, free loans. Like I don't know. All right, we'll move on here. Tom Lee, who's somebody who goes on CNBC. I really like Tom Lee. He's very soft spoken. I'm not sure of his nationality. I think he's from the East, but he's definitely Americanized now. But yeah, he goes on CNBC all the time, and he really gives these guys a spanking sometimes. He was on CNBC when Bitcoin was like $7,000, and the girl was like, he was explaining it to her, and he's like, "This is going to hit 100,000." And she said he was crazy, and it's like a viral clip. And Tom Lee's just phenomenal. Went on again today, and he said 150K as central banks ease and quantitative tightening ends. And this is a short term thing for him. He said 150K is short term.
Yeah, I mean, he's been right in the past, right? And when they were kind of laughing at him as well. So and he does seem like calm and calculated in terms of like giving any type of prediction. He just doesn't throw it around. So that makes me feel good. Did he say an actual timeline?
He said short term. That was the phrase he used. He's like, in the short term, I think Bitcoin can hit 150K. Short term for him though could be 6 months, 12 months. You know what I mean? It doesn't. He has such a long term view on Bitcoin. So for him, he did also said this is $1 million asset as well. So, but yeah, so long term, he's very bullish on what Bitcoin brings to the table. So, but yeah, it was Bitcoin was 81,000 when he said this, and right now it's $2,000 higher on both Larry Fink's article and the Tom Lee. Tom Lee spikes the price every time he's on CNBC because people, normies watch it and then they go buy the ETF.
Yeah. I like him. I like him because, like I said, he's not one of those people that seems to joke around a lot. He's very talks slow to be able to kind of get his points across. So this makes me feel bullish that Tom Lee's back, because we know what happened last time he made a statement similar.
Yeah, man. So pretty big. I just want to bring that up because I do definitely respect Tom Lee and everything he does for Bitcoin. The next thing is pretty big. U.S. House of Representatives to hold hearing on cryptocurrency market structure legislation on April 9th, which is, I want to say, next Tuesday. This is big. This is potentially going to be the early talks of a lot of things, and regulation is definitely something we need, but legislation is something we need as well, and potentially kind of putting crypto and Bitcoin in reserves. I mean, it's something I'm probably going to talk about as well.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what comes out of this, right? Because to be able to put Bitcoin into reserves, what are they going to use in terms of the capital for that, right? We already know that they've made these kind of executive orders to say, okay, we're not going to sell down Bitcoin that we have, but how are we going to find the capital to actually add to it? That's where I'm curious to see kind of what the plan is for that. Also, kind of the market structure legislation, I think, is going to be very important, right? In terms of, what's the overall structure in terms of regulation, all that stuff that, because this is a big kind of shift of technology innovation being accepted finally with the U.S. government, right? And so we've had it. The last similar situation is the internet, right? And so they had to really get some strong structural legislation in to make sure that there wasn't all these like black market websites and all these things. And so I expect something similar to kind of kick off with this.
We have new tax money coming in with these tariffs. Like, everyone's so bearish on it, but this is new tax money that's coming to the U.S. We're talking billions, potentially trillions of dollars. Taking 1% of that and putting that into buying Bitcoin for the reserve could be a possibility. You're not using taxpayer money. You're using, Canada's money. You're using Mexico's money. You're using China's money to potentially, potentially buy a little bit of Bitcoin. I'm not talking about a lot. I'm talking 1-2% of the tariff money potentially could be allocated to backing the dollar.
Yeah. Well, it would technically come from the consumer, right? But at the same time, it's rolled into the price. The company's just kind of forwarding that over. But at the end of the day, it's like
they won't be able to, though, because you can build that same product in the U.S. and then you're competing. So you can say that, but at the same time, they're gonna have to create stuff in the U.S.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then we won't get that from that specific company. We won't get that tariff because they're avoiding it, right? So my point is that like the taxpayers aren't still not paying it. It just rolls into the price. So because the U.S. is going to still get that payment from the company in the end, that's kind of at the end of the day, like that's where the money kind of switches hands anyways. So if they could, the problem would be, can they get this approved by the House?
I mean, we'll find out the 9th, right? That's what this is all about. I mean, it's just it's obviously just very early in talks. This is probably one of many, many meetings to kind of go over, and we got to figure out something. I mean, we can't just keep diluting the dollar. We needed something to back it. So, I mean, we got gold, but we can't even. No one has entered Fort Knox. What happened to that conversation about auditing Fort Knox? I think that just kind of got swept under the rug.
I'm honestly kind of glad. I hope they hold that off till later.
Yeah.
Let's kind of get through what we need to get through right now, because I don't know if that's bad news coming out of that. Let's just hold that till like 2027.
I think we both know that it's
There's nothing in there.
I don't know. All right, I gotta quickly get through this because we're on time crunch here. So Coinbase users may have lost over 46 million in phishing scams in March, with one victim losing 400 Bitcoin, according to Zach XBT. Guys, when you put your funds on Coinbase, it just takes a phishing attack to potentially get your information, get access to your crypto on there. So it's not just the exchanges going down. You have to really be careful. Hardware wallets, guys, hardware wallets, hardware wallets, hardware wallets. Like, I know you trust Coinbase. I know. But it only takes one bad link for them to get all your information. Like, get your stuff off exchanges. Become on chain. It's an on-chain revolution. You need to be part of it. So I just want to put that out there.
I agree with that. I mean, this sucks, 400 Bitcoin, but kind of it's your fault. Why are you, first of all, have that much on there? Secondly, if you do have that much on there, you should have like a million antennas popping out of your head whenever anybody reaches you for anything. And I mean, that's $33 million according to Bitcoin's current price.
Yeah.
You know, so
and he's
it's just
30
wild.
Yeah, he was 70% of the 46 million in March.
That's crazy.
Yeah, insane. I actually have a chart here. I did want to show that. Oh, here it is right here. Is this it? Yeah. So this actually shows the transaction. Look at this. This is that from Zach's BT. This is at minus 400 Bitcoin, $35 million at the time.
Oh,
crazy,
dude,
crazy.
that hurts. That hurts just looking at it.
I know. All right, last thing here. This is a few things. So I'll just run through this real quickly. Hut 8 launches American Bitcoin mining, backed by Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. That's the headline. So I went into it a little depth. I did some research into this for you guys. So Hut 8 is spun off a significant portion of its Bitcoin mining operations to the new entity American Bitcoin Corp. So rather than Hut 8 rebranding with the new investors, it's launching a specialized offshoot American Bitcoin Corp with the Trump family and other minority partners. Hut 8 will own 80% of American Bitcoin Corp. The remaining 20% is held by the original group of investors who formed American Data Centers. So American Data Centers is they're actually rebranding to American Data Centers, right? No. So American Data Centers is actually going to be a part of this new thing here. So they're going to own the other 20% of this American Bitcoin Corp. So American Data Centers is rebranded to American Bitcoin Corp, and Hut 8 is actually owns 80% of this. So I was really confused digging into this. I hope I explained that properly, but this is actually a really big deal. So Hut 8 isn't becoming this. This is a sub company of Hut 8.
I feel like there's all types of tax exemption written all over this, right?
I know,
but I mean, that was a part of the whole, the whole sales pitch to get, people to build in the crypto industry in the US, right? So smart strategic move. Look, I mean, corporations that have success in terms of making these kind of legal maneuvers and stuff, they're smart to do this. Like, you can say, oh, this is stupid that they get away with it. It's not getting away with it. I mean, this was an offer that was made to like American companies. So yes, like, I don't know if they were already a mining company, but if they weren't, then very smart, because now American Data Centers kind of might fall under that whole thing. But it's very interesting. And also, I'm going to keep my eyes open to see how many other companies do stuff like this.
Yeah. Well, American Data Centers, what do? They mine data, right? They have all these systems in place, huge warehouses of these, probably NVIDIA GPUs, just, keeping everything going. And they're probably sitting there like, how can we make more money? And then, you have Eric Trump and Don Jr. saying, hey, let's get into mining. And then they're like, hey, I wonder if there's a mining company that will just give us some miners to put in our data center. And Hut 8's like, we'll love to be partnered with the Trumps, right? I mean, it's smart all around, right? It's just really smart for American Data Centers to get involved and Hut 8 actually to come in and supply, because the Hut 8 is going to supply all the miners to them, and then so they're good to go. So right away. All right. Let's kind of get into that Bitcoin fear and greed here. So last Monday, we're at a 45. Which is crazy to think. I can't remember being 45, but yesterday was 32. We're a little bit over that 32. What do you think we are right now?
34.
Don't fear. Yeah, hit on the nail there. 34. Right there. So very, very bearish still, but I think today's is going to be back in the 40s. Hopefully we can get past 45 this week. We're still really, really bullish on the upcoming weeks. We just got to get past the second, which is the tariff day.
Yep.
All right. Let's get into that Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by Artura.finance. Artura, they're changing the game, guys. They're going to be on Hemi blockchain, and Hemi is actually they're actually funded by Binance. Binance is one of the leading investors in Hemi, which is actually huge. It's Binance Labs. So, guys, when you were playing on Artura.finance in the future when they launched mainnet, you were actually going to be potentially getting the Hemi airdrop as well. Not only will you be getting the Artura airdrop, but you will also be getting the Hemi airdrop, which is backed by Binance. So we know it is going to be listed on Binance. So what do we know about that? It's going to be a token that you're going to want to hold. Very bullish on Artura, but right now you guys can actually get a head start on everybody by using Artura.finance. Right now they're on Botonics, the Spider chain. You can actually use their testnet right now, making one trade on Artura.finance right now kind of gets you in their raffle. So, and then this upcoming Wednesday, we're actually going to be doing a special roundtable for them. We got some really big traders around the space. They're going to be joining us. We're going to go 150x leverage and see who can last the longest. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Join us this Wednesday. It'll be a pre-recorded video, but we'll have that out potentially Wednesday night for you guys. We're definitely going to be having some fun with that. So that's definitely going to be something you're not going to miss. And by going to Artura.finance today, you guys can actually get a head start on a lot of people and really learn how their site works and how the functions work and really get a head start.
Yep, exactly. And in the future, it might be a live session, but we're kicking it off with a pre-recorded one just to kind of see how it flows. But it should be very fun. And also, before getting to the Bitcoin price action, guys, if you could help us out, as always, and we're grateful for that. But on the YouTube side, smash that like, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and turn your notifications on just so you know when we go live. On the X side, guys, please share the space for us. It helps us a ton to try to educate onboard people to crypto and the Bitcoin ecosystem. And also on the abstract side, guys, if you could share that stream, we'd greatly appreciate it. But let's get into some Bitcoin price action here. Let me share my screen. I think I got to pull you down there. There it goes right there. Perfect. Okay, cool. Starting off with the hour chart. So, it was looking kind of not so great to end the Sunday yesterday, but, I guess Larry Fink's statement that was part of that article kind of turned things around a little bit here, right? So we're sitting at 83,000, kind of pretty much right at that flush. But we did get all the way back to like almost, I'll say not 84, but 83.5, 83.6. And you can see here, we have been up in the overbought territory on the hour chart since I would say about like 6 hours ago, right? About 8 hours ago, actually. And then try to dip down below and then really have rebounded, honestly, pretty decent so far from what I've seen. And the MACD also showing some strength still here. So I think we, probably see a little bit more to the upside for the next 4 to 8 hours. Nothing crazy, I don't think, unless there's some really bullish news that kind of doubles up on what, BlackRock had that statement that they made. But maybe getting back to the 84.5 would be great. But the indicators are showing that we do want to push up a little bit more on the hour chart, which is kind of a forecast of the 4 to 8 hours in front of us. So that is what I'm seeing there on the hour chart. Let me pull us up here on the 4 hour and bring these indicators. I do have to refresh over here. Give me 1 second. Let me X this out. All right, cool. Bring this up here. So the 4 hour doesn't look too bad, actually. I know you're probably like, it doesn't look bad. It's been down only. Yeah, but it looks like, we were down here for a very long time. We didn't really get back to overbought on the stochastic RSI. We didn't at all. We made it to the mid, but it does look like, this is exhausting looking, at least. You can see the sell pressure on the MACD. Plus, if we do have this pull up to 84.5, 85, this could really kind of pull us out of the 4 hour chart and kind of bring us back towards overbought territory, right? So the MACD definitely looks like it's weakening, but we do need some bullish activity with the price action today, because unless we get that, I'm afraid if we actually go down, then this is going to be even more of a that downtrend will continue on the 4 hour chart there. But like I said, it looked like we had a pretty decent start to the day. And so, really need to see how the rest of today goes, because this could turn around. We could get our first green candle on the MACD tonight or early tomorrow morning. So keep your eye on the 4 hour chart, because that will give you a forecast from 2 to 3 days out. Very high level, not super deep into with like liquidity pockets or anything like that for kind of our Bitcoin price action right now. But I do want to hit on the others. But before that, I do want to also hit on the weekly. So let me bring this up here. So this is the weekly chart for Bitcoin. We've been keeping track of this, right? We had 2 good weeks, and then last week was our red candle week. But as you can see, we have still defended that top of the 50-day EMA channel on the weekly chart for Bitcoin. So this is good. We'll see how we finish out this week, because we do need a green, at least continually defend this, right? So if we get back down to 81, we really, finishing below this, in my opinion, would be bad. Because we have defended this top of this 50-day EMA pretty well, going on 4 weeks in a row. This is the 4th week, and actually 5, because this one actually was right there too. But if we can, even if we do end up red, just like right there, I just don't want to kind of finish the week below this at all. I feel like it would just be kind of bad energy.
Yeah.
But if we can finish, above it, and then build on that momentum, because we will be past the tariff kind of speculation, right? And then we can start this uptrend to May. And then if we follow the M2 money supply, we could have a really good summer, guys. So, don't feel so down just because we had one bad week. We're starting this week off strong so far. And the next thing I'm going to show you, I'm going to go into the others here for a second, because we do want to check everything besides Bitcoin as well. So let me pull this up here. So the others, the top 10 cryptocurrencies besides Bitcoin, this is the weekly chart for that. So honestly, it's not as bad as it looked, right? Like last week, it was pretty bad, because we did make it above the bottom part of the channel on the weekly chart, the 50-day EMA. But it does look like it wants to come out. You can see these leading indicators. It wants to come out here. So, we have a decent week with Bitcoin. I think we're going to have an even better week with the alts here. It doesn't look like it yet, but, it's definitely, I feel like there's a pent up demand for that market. So another thing we're just keeping our eye on, guys. But this setup here from the indicators looks pretty good if we can kind of, bounce out alongside Bitcoin for the others chart. And the last thing I'm going to go over, it's not going to look great, but
Oh man,
it's
not that bad.
Well,
I see a couple.
last week, this bubbles chart looked great, right? It was all green,
Yeah.
but this makes sense, right? Because we just pulled back on the weekly. But I expect this to get more and more green as the days go on. Obviously, Wednesday is going to be a big day, so maybe it's a kind of news rumor type of thing, and we don't take as much of a hit, and we just move past it, and then we're green pastures ahead. So that's what we're seeing, guys. Anything sticking out here? Or crypto.com's token Crow. This is bullish, man. They remained bullish even when everything else pulled back. But remember that deal? I think that they're about to close. Tons still looking pretty strong. Out of the rest, those are pretty much the only ones that really stick out to me. So don't worry, guys. Bad week, but as long as we don't have 2 bad weeks in a row, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, the Lido down 20%. That's a little scary in a sense. A little bit. So, but
related to ETH, right?
ETH. Yeah, it's related to ETH, but that's huge for Lido, because Lido is a pretty big part of Ethereum. I mean, they're probably I think they are the biggest DApp on Ethereum. I think they beat out MakerDAO. So, but yeah, man, that one's a little scary, but it is what it is. Let's kind of get into the comments here. And on this show, first is first. And we got my man ASAP Benji bringing it every single day. We appreciate you, my friend. And he already has a frog. So I would love for you to get a second frog, man. I love any of you. I can't wait for you guys to win that frog. So we do have a frog on the line for the first is first competition. And if you're new and don't know what it's about, you still have plenty of time to win that frog. It's about $1,000 prize. We will be giving it away on December 31st of 2025, right after the show, or maybe during the show. So right now, Mike's World was number 1 at first of the year. So I always call out the first is first. Maybe we'll give a prize to Mike's World. I don't know. We'll see. But over the course of the last 3 months, we've had you guys finish the quarter out. It ended right now. My man Webdro would have 13 wins. Danny Boy has 12 wins. ASAP Benji's getting his 6th win of the year here in 3rd place, I believe. And then we do have Lackey Lukey right there in 4th place. So this is anyone's game, guys. And someone like Glasshopper could still win this. We still have like 100, 250 more or 200 more wins or something like that. So there's plenty of time to get in here. But ASAP Benji, today's your day, my friend. Congratulations to you. And we got number 2. So look at this. This is at 9:52. This is at 9:53.
Wild.
You probably posted at like 9:51. So shout out to next time you post it, I would love for you to like write down what time it was when you hit the final post, and that way we can kind of see like.
Well, they obviously have their notifications on, right? But it's
no,
like,
it doesn't notify you.
What?
Yeah, it only notifies you an hour before the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys, man, y'all are crazy.
Sitting there refreshing all morning. They probably know Sundays we do it early because we have meetings all morning, and then we're on Michael's show on Sundays as well. So they know we do it early because that's the time we're kind of hanging out. But shout out to you guys. ASAP Bench said first is first. Reaper don't dare. Danny Boy said, damn it. So close, Danny. So close. That was close, Danny. So ASAP says we got Matt's in the building. ASAP, PJNZ. He's like, LO, it's not starting for like another day. And then PJNC, so testing something. Thank you so much for your super chat, man. It means a lot. $3.49. Appreciate that, my friend. Webdro says max out the grip strength. So shout out to Webdro. PJNC is curious if the Reaper does come if everything pre-super chat. I think if you put a super chat in there, I don't think the Reaper comes because I don't think they want to F up that. I could be wrong. We'll find out. I'm sure we'll find out. But I don't think I've never seen the Reaper come when there's a super chat in the chart. So, I mean, in the chat. Super chat in the chat. Sorry. Then we have Webdro again, PJNZ again. Let's see. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. He loves me and I love you with his Billy Cat. Shout out to Mr. Hanky. PJNZ again. Malam Yuri says, one of the most anticipated shows. Wow. Thank you. Noob question here. If market makers and Trump tariffs can manipulate the market to the downside like this, why would they ever let us run? Because they want to make money, right?
Yeah, they definitely want to make money. And is it like a big intentional manipulation? Possibly just to, kind of, it's like a kind of hero situation, right? It's like, okay, they have to do some things. He's doing certain things strategically for sure, but also at the same time, it's like he wants that 17 months in a row, like he did in 2017, 18 of green for the markets. And so he wants that like times 5. He wants to go off into the sunset as like looked at as like the hero for America and all that stuff. So in order to do that with the current situation coming in, you got to kind of, just get things out and then get the machine ready to be able to explode. So that's what I think is happening. I don't think he's going to keep it down because he's too worried about his legacy.
Yeah, 100%. And this is the first. We're 3 months in, 2 months into his election, right? Like he needs to break it down first. He needs to make sure he's in my opinion, he's forcing Jerome Powell's hand here to get rates lower. He wants the markets. He wants the economy to look bad. Jerome has to get in QE. He has to potentially, potentially drop rates down to 2-3%, which would be awesome. So we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. But Ordinal's chip says Ordinal Hydra Corp loves OnChain Revolution. Think about she every 38 minutes, 38 seconds, and 900 milliseconds. I love your comments, bro. I love them. Absolutely love them. Nabob is here. A Cheaty in his blue suit. Shout out to my guy. Love you, buddy. He said, seems like Tau ecosystem is having a mini run.
Yes, it is, dude.
Top 10.
Finally.
That's the problem. Top 10 assets only. That's the problem I'm dealing with.
But there's going to be people that try to gamble and whales will try to push things up. So remember that.
Yeah, and the fact that it's happening in this bear market that kind of we're in is
I know,
really,
dude.
really
that's what's getting me excited.
Really
that's what's getting me excited for when things get better. So,
yeah, man. Nagi is here. Shout out to Nagi, super fan. Definitely hit me up this week, man. Would love to get you on the show. Potentially Wednesday is a good day. I'll hit you up in the DMs later today. Chief Axel is here. Patty Poo is here. MoChain says the boys live. What's up, MoChain? Appreciate you, my friend. He said, call me crazy. Uh-oh. My mouse is freezing up here. Call me crazy, but I think ICP will be the best performer in this decade, starting from 2025, holding Bitcoin, of course. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. ICP
Starting from
technology,
2025.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely a possibility, right?
Yeah, but if you were to go from 2015 to 2025, it might be one of the worst.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
well,
I mean, it went from like
2021, yeah.
it went from what like but good point, because it's getting more relevance, right? Like
Yeah.
right now we're seeing it be able to help Bitcoin layer 1 assets be more tradable in a more bullish environment. So I agree. I think ICP has the potential, as long as their core can, build off of this. They need to
Yeah.
recognize and build off of this.
100%. Mark says, hi, guys. We doing Clan Wars? No. So Foxy reached out to us this morning. We're not doing Clan Wars tomorrow.
Sorry.
They're still working on their game. Apologize for that in advance for you guys who are diehards with that. So we need to be more consistent with it. I'm hoping that when we start back up, we can be more consistent. But it all really depends on their building, right? So that they have a lot of things coming. We talk to them every Monday. So we're curious to see when we can start being really consistent with that and really pushing it, because the fact that we stopped them, it's actually hurting them, in my opinion, hurting the show, hurting not the show, but hurting that segment of the show, because we need to be more consistent. We need to be every week, but we'll see. MoChain says, God, I believe it's so, locked for 8 years staking ICP. MoChain says, don't forget all these so-called EVM chains are copied ETH. I mean, nah. Maybe not. We can argue about that. But myself says, Vitalik sniffing robot dog butts and dancing to elementary songs makes me bullish. Yeah, I don't know about that. And Superfan said, yeah, man. I'm been racing the clock. Launch of OG passes tomorrow for the TGE perks coming up and crazy. But I can't wait to tell you more about it. Doesn't get any earlier than this. Not shilling the chat, of course. Just excited. Yeah, please shill the chat, dude. I don't mind at all. Definitely appreciate you being a part of our community and being part. We'd love to be a part of what you're building as well. So just let us know any way we can help. Nighthawk says, GM fellas, minor accident this morning. That's why I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, bud. I hope everything's all right. Please DM me. Let me know what's going on. Yeah, it sucks, dude. All right, guys. So today it's Monday at 12 o'clock Eastern time. So every Monday at 12 o'clock Eastern time, we get to talk to our good friends over at Merlin Chain. And today we have the amazing Jeff. Jeff, welcome back to OnChain Revolution. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi guys. How's it going?
Good. First, I want to check in because I don't know if Singapore had any of after effects or anything. Is everything okay with Singapore with the earthquake stuff, or it didn't reach there?
Yeah, no. I think Singapore is a very, very lucky place, because I think it never had earthquake or typhoon like in the history.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in like a unique position. That wind doesn't get, or earthquake doesn't get here. Yeah, everything's fine here. But yeah, I heard like lots of things happen in Thailand, and it's pretty bad.
Yeah, and then also saw that you guys donated to organization in South Korea as well. So thought that was awesome. Were they also affected by the forest fires? So it was a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Yeah, man. So last week we had you on, and you got us really bullish with the Merlin Wizard. I've been messing with him and testing him out. He's a point. I think you're calling it 0.1. Could you give us any updates on that, or what do you guys got cooking with the Wizard?
Yeah. So first, I think 0.2 and 3 probably will be merged into one version, and coming, I think. Very shortly. Today I was just testing with the team because it's involved with on-chain data and execution on chain, so it might be riskier. So that's why we are testing it, but definitely like in a very short period of time. And after that version, we're thinking about doing more, like things not like right now. It looks like a customer service, right? So it solves problems that new users who are not familiar with Merlin Chain. But the next version will be focused on like cross-chain trading, like giving more information about other chains. So if you want to know about what happens with memes on Base, BNB chain, Solana, you can also come here, to ask the questions. And because I think I was talking with Jacoby, like the Particle SDK. I think the SDK will be out soon too. So you can use your merged Bitcoin to do actions on those meme coins. But I mean, right now, probably people don't want to do meme coins anymore because everything's bleeding. But yeah, we're just making the foundation for the future. I think Bitcoin is doing pretty well right now, but all the other coins are stats already dark. Like all of them are bleeding very hard. Yeah, so I think that is the plan for the Murder Wizard.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Real quick, you mentioned meme coins. No one really wants to buy those anymore. I'm curious what your thoughts are on kind of what we're going through. We might have talked about this before, but I compare it to .com boom, right? Like everything was hot, and then some winners came out, and then eventually like people could start companies that were legitimate because we got through that. Do you feel like that's the case with meme coins? We're exiting the .com boom, but our meme coin version, and once that's cleared out, then people can reestablish like communities and projects.
Yeah, I think like I want to share like some of my insights here. I think the first thing is we are like I said, probably with the guys like 1.5 years ago, we are a lack of new narratives. Because in 2021, I think that's the best time, to be honest. I think that's much better than 2018. That's much better than last year too. Because in 2021, we have lots of crazy new ideas. We had all this DeFi with OpenSea, like lots of new projects, new ideas come, and you can see like lots of talents coming from Web2, trying to do something great in Web3. But this time we are really, like I was just talking to a friend, we are really lack of narratives. We had restaking Ethereum kind of fail. We had the big Bitcoin ecosystem. People don't really care about that anymore. And we had, I think the biggest ones are memes and AI. I think memes definitely had a run, but to be honest, most of the memes are like gambling. So you cannot only have this in one cycle. And the AI kind of ride with the memes for a while, and it turns out very few teams they're actually building AI. So that's why the market kind of cools down. So first, I think even though without memes, I think the builders need to find the right narratives, need to find the right products to build. I was actually talking to some Bitcoin builders in the past week. I think people feel the same. We have lots of cool ideas, like inscriptions, like Lightning Network. Like people thought Lightning Network can do lots of things, right? People are talking about OpenCat, people talk about BVN, not anymore. So I think that's the most important thing. But the second thing is I think the memes kind of get unhealthy in the recently, because first people was getting familiar with Pump Fund because they can trade very small valuation token in Pump Fund and then go to Radium, right? But the thing is, right now, if you check all these memes, they launched on Pump Fund and it got like bought like 100% in 1 second in one block. That means the cabal bought them all, and then it goes to Radium. So basically, Pump Fund doesn't it's not useful anymore because every token is sniped by the cabal, and then users understand this is a quick game, so you buy and you really like you sell really quickly after you see some profits. So the game is kind of too mature. I think the mystery part of a new innovation is the best part. Like when the inscription came out, right? We have no idea what is inscription. Why can we have tokens on BRC20? Like what is RBF? What is mempool? Like how can we beat others using different techniques? That's what we're talking about in 2023. That's the time we have the mystery part of the thing. But then later people find out, okay, so all of these are very mature, we have lots of tools, and then the game kind of died down. Like what happens with Pump Fund, people are not trading on Pump Fund anymore. They just launch token there, cabal snipe them all, and then people start PvP on the Radiant decks. So even though the market is coming back, I do not think Pump Fund kind of mechanism will work again, because it's a transparent game that everybody knows what's going on there. It's not like mystery anymore.
Yeah, black hole.
Would you compare what happened with Pump Fund to Ohm? the way came out, everyone, would jump to it, and everything which was happening with that. And then you've seen copycat to copycat to copycat, but it just never caught the momentum that it had originally. Do you see Pump Fun actually being this cycle's or
Yeah. Or you can say like
rebase?
NFT. Like when NFT came out, people were like, "Yo, this is cool." This is like art. On chain, blah blah blah. And then after a year, people realized it's just JPEG, IPFS,
Yeah.
and there's no value behind that. So I think that is natural. But along with NFT, we have lots of other new ideas. That's why the market was so good at that time. But this time,
Yeah.
everybody was talking about, memes are fair, memes are belong to the community. I mean, most of them are BS because like they belong to Cabot and Central
Yeah.
Exchange. They don't belong to community. But
Yeah.
I think right now people realize that. Yeah.
When do we
think,
get? Go ahead.
Do you think Pump Fun is going to be like NFTs though? Because NFTs are still around. People are still buying them. They're on every chain. Do you think Pump Fun's still going to be around, or do you think it's going to fade off like did? Do you think it's more like or more like NFTs?
It's gonna be there. It's gonna be there, and it's
Okay.
gonna be bigger than NFT because it has more liquidity. Like I think last week, they were doing like the Ghibli thing. ChatGPT. I bought some. I lost some money, and the week before that was the African American doing like the morning ice water stuff.
Oh yeah. Routine.
Right? Yeah, the routine. Yeah, I watched that video like on TikTok like all the time. But so that's why
so
I
many
actually
questions about that statement.
No,
Jeff, you have a morning routine.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun, and I was actually trying, use ice water too, but I cannot stand it. But so I think it will be on, forever because there are always people like DJ to gamble. But I think the majority of the users just lost, the mysterious part of that game. People know the game is not fair. The game is very quick, and people just don't like. Even now, we're trying to pump a new BRC20 token. It's very hard because the mysterious part has gone.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also, I think the difference between Pump Fun and something like Ohm is like Ohm and Tomb, they were House of Cards, right? So it was basically like you paint a picture, and then, but like underneath it was like these cards were they're going to crumble any day. But like with Pump Fun, it's like a gamble house that you have very small percentage of winning, and it's like a casino that's always going to be there. I think that my question is like someone that has worked in Web 2 and Web 3 for Jeff is, when do we kind of say, okay, maybe we don't look for new narratives or anything like that. We just have something that stays and sticks, like kind of Web 2 did, right? Whether that's e-commerce or services or media, right? So those are the three biggest businesses on the internet. When do we get that with our industry?
Oh, I'm really devastated about that because I've been Web 2 for 10 years. I think the biggest difference is in Web 2, people do reinvest. I was working for a company. Sorry, I was building the company, and we make some money and we invest the money to hire more people, make more people work for you. And these people, like why China has a strong advantage with AI and stuff, because in the last 10 to 15 years, we have so many college students. They only want to be dev. They only want to learn Java and C++. So I think everyone is reinvesting, like Alibaba, Tencent, TikTok. They reinvest into the industry. They have more capital. They have more infras. Like marketing agencies, KOLs, like all this stuff. But in Web3, like I learned this from my personal experience. Many of my friends, they make a fortune by launching memes or stuff. They withdraw the money, reinvest into houses, sports cars, and stuff. They don't hire people. They don't reinvest into like all these tycoons, like big companies. When they make money, like Binance, Bybit stuff, they still hire people. But the majority of the builders, they don't reinvest into the industry. That's why every 4 years we have billions of dollars coming in, but we don't see billions of dollars stay. Like you see lots of liquidity. Like where are they? Where people make this kind of money? Where do they invest? No, they don't invest in the Web3 industry. That's why I think Web3 is much slower, because we still see some reinvestment, but it's much, much, much slower because people aren't actually taking money. Like, the Libra dudes, like the Trump, the Melina, like all these tokens, like where do they invest those money? definitely not on Web3
Dubai.
info. Yeah, Dubai,
But-
Virgin Island companies, like all this stuff.
But what changes that? Because to me, I feel like regulation changes that, right? Regulation comes in and says, okay, you have to hit these standards if you do this, and then like if you're a scammer, if you're all this, then you're gonna get in trouble. But also, regulation will encourage like Silicon Valley or the tech part of China, to start reinvesting, because now you have structure within our industry, and hopefully that happens this year. But I was curious. Thank you for your answer on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I want to kind of steer the conversation back to the Amazing Wizard. You said earlier that you're going to be wrapping up point 2 and point 3. Could you explain what point 2 is, and then what point 3 is, and what we could be potentially getting on this next update?
Yeah. So the 0.2 version will be the wizard will know all the data. So if you're trying to check, what did my wallet do like for the past week, or what's the holders for Merle token, for Party, for Bitmap, NFTs, how many holders are there? Are there any whales? What are whales doing? Are whales selling, or are whales buying? What is the daily activeness on Merlin chain? So all these data, which was very hard to get from the Explorer. I know like people don't like to check Explorer, and most of the time it's hard to understand. So we changed that into this one-to-one kind of question and answer kind of user experience. The 0.3 version would be helping you to do execution. So right now, if you ask the wizard, how can I bridge this out? How can I withdraw this? It tells you how to do that. But in the 0.3 version, you can actually get the execution, get the transaction for you. The only thing you need to do is to sign. So I mean that's risky, but I think that will help like lots of people, because they don't want to go to the DEX to swap stuff, or to the bridge to bridge out. And I think that is the function of 0.3.
Gotcha. And you said we can be expecting that potentially the first couple weeks of April?
Oh yeah, of course. Very shortly. I think we're aiming this week for both versions, because the third version is actually quicker than we expected. The second version is slower than we expected. Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So, guys, come over to merlinchain.io, click the wizard, and it takes you to here. You can ask it. Get started today. Start asking a Merlin chain. Will the wizard eventually have a memory, or does it have it already, to where I can put in, hey, I'm Shizzy, and it'll know my wallet, and we can have conversations and stuff like that?
Right now it doesn't, because I mean in the same conversation it does, but if you have a new conversation, it doesn't, because we don't store, we don't keep your data. We don't want your data to be like read by us, but in the same conversation it does. Yeah.
So if long as I keep the same conversation, it'll remember me and remember how I potentially want to trade, because eventually in the future, I'm going to be able to set up trading aspects. You guys are going to have there's this thing
Conditional.
being able to do everything. Yeah, conditional trading and everything. So eventually in the future, I'm going to be able to potentially keep the same chat open and just kind of feed it the strategy that I want it to continue for me. Correct?
Yeah. I think like I think it is harder than we expected, because when we're doing DeepSeek or ChatGPT, it doesn't really matter it's right or wrong. Sometimes it gives you a crazy answer, you just take it. But in Web3, it's harder, because we want to make sure everything is accurate. Because if it's not accurate, it hurts people. So that's why it's harder than what we expected. Yeah.
Yeah. 100% agree. I think there has to be like tons of back testing, for especially like something like Casey came out and said like agents in the back end of runes. I'm like, you better make sure that happens correctly, because like the way the LLMs are now, it's not exact. You can't guarantee. And so, but as time goes on, and maybe as it gets better, maybe that's something you can get like to 99.5% or something like that. But another thing I want to dive into, pivoting a little bit away from the AI part, is your kind of collaboration with BNB, and you guys have a new partnership with Free Protocol. Could you go into that and what that is about?
Yeah. So starting last Thursday, we had a campaign with BNB Chain and PancakeSwap. So the users can go there to become to become LP or to trade. I think the last weekend we see lots of funds bridge to BNB chain. We are looking for more. We are giving 50,000 US dollar incentives for users to trade. Right now, the trading volume is not it doesn't meet what we expected, but we will see more transactions along this week. I think it's very important because it's free money. The incentives are there. If you have some Merl, you should bridge to the chain to trade. If you don't want to lose gas fee, or you don't want to trade on daily basis, you can just become LP. The Merl token is actually more stable than Ordinal sets like these days. So if you become LP, you will be getting like all these LP fees yields from the trading competition. We'll get back to that number next week to see what's going on. But by our calculation, the yield will be over 1,000%, because lots of people are trading there, trying to get incentives, 50K. But if you're becoming the LP, you will be getting like all these people's fees.
Yep, exactly. And as you guys can see in the audience, I'm sharing this post here from Free Protocol. It says bridge Merl to BNB chain to claim your share of 20,000 Merl. And it goes to how to participate. You got to bridge your Merl to BNB chain from Merlin. Ensure transactions meet the criteria. So greater than or less than 100 Merl per transaction. So make sure that the case, and then your gas rebate and raffle prizes will be credited to eligible wallets once the campaign wraps up. Eligible meaning the threshold there, I'm assuming there, but it goes to the 10th of April, 6 a.m. UTC. So make sure you guys participate in this. We'll drop the link as well in the description. But,
yeah, this is just the bridging campaign. The bridging gives you 20K Merl. The trading competition gives you 50K US dollars.
So it's additional bonus.
Yeah, so it's like two different campaigns to help you to bridge and to trade. And to me, I don't trade, so I put like lots of Merl there and BNB there to become LP, because LP has much more yields than just like trading with competitors.
Yeah. What would be the best way if let's say you were bringing over some Merl? What's the best bridge, or what would you personally use to kind of get your Merl from Merlin chain to BNB chain to be able to take advantage of this?
Yeah, free. They have the best liquidity at this moment, and they're giving back all these fees and gas and stuff. So I don't see any other option than that.
And what's the site? It's free.
.tech.
Free.tech. Yeah.
Free.tech.
It's Misam, so it's like the same company but different brands.
Gotcha.
That's awesome to know. I'm really glad I asked that question, because the other bridges are a little on the expensive side, especially compared to some other ones. So yeah. So guys, if you're interested in doing this, use free.tech, and then obviously it's PancakeSwap.finance. I'm just curious. Have you guys ever had conversations about potentially having Merl on PancakeSwap, the Merlin chain?
It's on there.
Yeah. No, I think he's saying maybe like a fork of Pancake on
No, not a fork. It would just be PancakeSwap adding you guys to potentially Ethereum, because they have Polygon ZK EVM. So they could easily probably add Merlin. Have you guys ever had talks about them becoming a swap on Merlin?
Oh, you mean on Merlin? Yeah, but I think just because Merlin Swap is like dominating the market right now,
Gotcha.
So all the other decks don't really want to go here. Yeah, but I think we are trying to migrate Merl to other chains right at this moment.
Gotcha. I was just thinking like having potentially Merl on this list would open up a lot of eyes. You know what I mean? Just having it there. I understand they're probably not going to do well there, so they probably don't want to have the devs and stuff like that potentially do that, because Merlin Swap is the #1 DEX on Merlin, so it is a lot of competition. But I think just potentially having Merl on this list would be phenomenal.
Yeah, in the future, maybe, right? In the future. But awesome. That's great to know. I'm switching to free.tech because I didn't realize that. Because I was using Messen too, but I'm definitely going to utilize that and take advantage of this as well. But are there any other updates that you got that we haven't touched on? Because that was a lot that we just went over.
Yeah, I think at this moment, I think we are trying to get new builders, but the hard part is no chain is getting any builder at this moment. No matter you're Solana or BSC or Bitcoin Layer 1, there are very few builders because people are not happy with the market right now, and the VCs stopped investing.
Yeah.
Because all VC failed this cycle, like because all these tokens didn't really meet their requirement. Like I think Particle is a great project, but their valuation is really low. Solve is a great project, their valuation is really low, and these are on OKX and Binance projects. Don't even talk about like on other central exchange. So yeah, I think we are trying to build the AI infra much easier with APIs and stuff. So if the market gets better, the AI comes back, in April or May or June or July or next year, the builders will find out, this is like the easiest place to build. So I think for all builders, we have to, have different plans. We have to have plan A, which markets will get crazier in next one or 2 months. Plan B is the market is going to be really bad for a period of time. Yeah. So you have to have plans for both. So I think right now we're still actively trying to get more builders. We're going to all these events. I'm gonna be in Dubai for the Token 2049. I'm going to be there for for several keynote speech and panel. So we're still trying to get more builders. And if any audience here, any builders here, because right now we're not in competition mode, right? Because everybody is bleeding. Everybody is like suffering. So if you want to have a talk sometime, we're happy to have a talk with you guys. And yeah, I think probably AI infra will be like the thing where we're trying to build. Metaverse, we're always trying to get the metaverse back. I always have a spot for BMAT, but my name is still BMAT Tech. We're actually like have some brainstorm about what's going on there. But it's just very, very hard right now for every builder.
Yeah, and I do think there's going to be this group of builders that come up and really try to onboard Web 2 users to Web 3 and kind of meet them halfway. And I know a couple projects right now that are doing that. Abstract has also done a good job on that, and I think that builders will come to Merlin to focus on that, because if you can get like groups of Web 2 audience to buy in, whether that's like using Particle Network's SDK as a payment processor or whatever, I think that's where it goes. And it's kind of like what you guys were thinking, I would say like 3 to 6 months back with, Timon and stuff like that. But if that's consistent, you're knocking on the door, I think eventually that'll happen and that'll break through to bridge both sides. So
yeah, like Timon, they are still, I think they just bridged like 200 Bitcoin today into another new chain. So, if you have some Bitcoin trying to, oh no, you don't need Bitcoin. If you are still active there, you can get to like the whitelist and still like do some farming. But yeah, and the funny thing is, actually, I just had like 2 messages, like 5 minutes before the show. It's like 2 messages, but basically it tells what's going on right now in the industry. First is a message from a VC who has invested us before. He just asked me, just don't build Merlin anymore. Just build a new project. I'll invest you, because that's why I said people don't reinvest, because if you build a new project, you can easily get much more money, and then do another round of whatever, building community, TGE, and that's it. And another message was coming from a founder of a really big Bitcoin project. You guys had a show with them. Or actually cover them sometime, but I'm not sure. But it's a very, very big project, get listed on several big exchanges. Their founder just quit their job and start a new project and ask me for the investment. So seriously, like the 2 messages 5 minutes before the show.
Wow.
So these 2 messages says what's going on. At this moment, investors want founders to do new things so they can reinvest and make money, and founders are slowly quitting the old projects and build something new. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, that's what happens right now.
Yeah. Well, I think the ones that have conviction in what they built and stuff, and if they have the stamina to be able to get through this, will succeed. But it's a hard situation. They definitely, I bet you a lot of VCs right now, they just want to make their money back that they lost earlier. So they're like, start something new. So I can make my money.
All VCs made money. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Absolutely amazing show, man. We're gonna cut this up and put out its own video. So every single Merlin Monday will have its own video. So look out for that if you guys did miss this or want to catch up to that. So we're gonna do that every single week as well. Not only will this be live, this will be pre-recorded as well. So definitely, Jeff, love your time, man. Absolutely amazing, and I'm really appreciative to have builders like you to kind of really build here and actually really mean it. Right? You're not gonna just jump over to some other project to get some VC money. It's awesome to have you here and keep building what you're building with Merlin, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm also having 2 Twitter Space this week, so if anyone is free, feel free to come by.
Yep, we'll get the information.
When is that?
I don't know yet, but probably
Okay.
like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. for you guys, and I think one of them is like English. But yeah, if you guys have time, just feel free to come by.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
For sure. All right, Jeff, we appreciate you, sir. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
See you, man. I think I knew who he's talking about. In the
let's not say. Yeah, let's talk about it after we end the show. 'Cause I'm curious.
Yeah, man. So yeah, okay. I do have a few more things if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I just want to knock these out so they're not old news for tomorrow. So the next thing is okay. So native LBTC. I feel like there's a song, right? LBTC or LBC. But LBTC has launched on Sonic, enabling conversion of Bitcoin to a yield-bearing version capable with the network. LBTC is on Sonic, is a liquid yield-bearing version of Bitcoin developed by Lombard Finance. We actually just talked to these guys, so I saw them. I definitely want to grab it for the news. In this context, LBTC represents a tokenized form of Bitcoin that has staked to generate yields. So you can actually, when you hold LBTC on Sonic, all you got to do is hold it, and you're actually earning. You'll get airdrop with Bitcoin as you're holding that. So this is something, if you are on Sonic and you have, let's just say you have some Sonic, it might be a good idea. Make sure you don't want to hold Sonic, but getting it if you want to get into a version of Bitcoin, LBTC. But remember, it is a receipt token that is being staked, so there are lots of risk in that. But it's definitely pretty cool. Let's just say if you're on Sonic and you want to go to Bitcoin and get in a yield bearing version of Bitcoin, so definitely really liked what Lombard was building, and I would love to have those guys on the show because that conversation was awesome. If you guys missed that on Ordinal Hive show every Thursday, they run the spaces. So, but what do you think about Lombard and this LBTC product?
I think it's cool because it's Lombard is from the Bitcoin ecosystem, right? And so they're kind of extending their wings, I guess you could say, to something that is more more EVM, even native, right, style. And it's an up and coming. It has a lot of eyes on it in terms of Sonic. And so pretty smart for them to try to get LBTC over there, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I think LBTC is going to be on every chain. Lombard is special, man. Again, it's Bitcoin DeFi, right? Bitcoin DeFi is going to be the biggest thing out there, and the fact that they have liquid tokens now on the fastest network that's ever existed, which is Sonic. That's a big deal. It's a huge deal.
Yep.
All right. The next thing here, I don't think you're gonna like this. I debated myself on adding this to the show, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So X1 by Jack Levin, which is Zen's a Zen chain, basically. So they just launched their testnet, and they already got 300 validators, which is absolutely huge for them because I'm getting into airdrop because I burned a shit ton of Zen, so that's probably why that I'm really looking into it. But what do you think about so X1's full SVM capability allows SVM builders to deploy seamlessly, unlocking new market opportunities with zero changes required. So we do know that Jack Levin has been on Bitcoin. He has launched a BRC20. He was talking about potentially bridging that token to Ethereum and stuff like that. And he still has ideas of bringing Bitcoin assets to X1 chain. So we do know that Zeus just dropped last week, got huge investors. X1 does not have any investors. It is completely ran by Jack and stuff like that. So Jack has built this chain, him and another couple guys, and they're putting this out. It is obviously SVM, so there's a fork of Solana. But what do you think about X1? Do you think Jack Levin could have success with this chain?
So I think he could in a bull market. But so originally X1 was supposed to be like a really efficient EVM, right?
DAG.
Oh, was it
Originally, it was a
DAG?
fork of Phantom. Yeah.
Okay. So then he pivoted to SVM,
Yeah.
and like I don't know, it's hard for me to trust him. I actually kind of look at him as like the white version of Jack Lew, kind of actually, because they do things and then those things go hot for a while and then they just do something new. But
Well,
I do,
no, that's not true. Like, this is still Zen at the end of the
yeah.
day.
So yes, he pivoted the tech stack. That's not that big of a deal, but I think it was just kind of the experience of what he did over in Bitcoin, the VMPX being a bridge to whatever the hell it was supposed to bridge to Ethereum. I'm not sure what he was creating that bridge for.
Well,
But
that's the thing. So, everyone who holds those tokens will potentially get an airdrop this X1 token. So it will be a claim,
for
potentially.
VMPX or
VMPX, the VMPX on ETH, the VMPX on Bitcoin, Zen. If you burned any Zen, you could potentially get an airdrop as well. I think it's like 40 to 50% of this token is going to be airdropped to Zen users and holders, and potentially, the VMP. Like, every project that Jack has built is all going to get onboarded to this X1 chain that he's building.
I mean,
It just took years for him to
yeah.
build it. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want to see it until I kind of look at this similar to like the BRC 2.0 stuff. Once it rolls out, then I will be a believer.
This is a little different, right? Because it's just, you see the validators working, right? So it's just Solana.
Yeah, I'm talking about for the airdrop. For the airdrop.
Yeah.
For the VMPX,
well, the airdrop,
he left that community hanging for the longest time.
Like, he went and built a chain.
Yeah,
what do you want the guy to do?
Update the community, because I was in there multiple times.
He has been updating the community. So if you look at his Twitter, he's been talking about X1 for a long time.
I'm talking about
every few weeks.
I'm talking about the VMPX community. So like all the Bitcoin people that like believed in that, there's going to be this bridge and all that stuff. It was just there is a
bridge. You can bridge it to Ethereum right now.
From VMPX, you can do that.
Yep, you can do it.
Interesting.
He has a bridge open. Yeah. So that is something that they've done. And he's done everything that he's said he's going to do. It's just, I think this chain took him a lot longer. Like I said, they were building the Solana. They were building the Phantom DAG, and then they had to scrap that. And now this just went live on testnet. And look, you can see the validators. 300 validators. They're all communicating together. Like, these are live transactions. These are live blocks shooting from one block to another block, right? So you can see how fast this chain is too. Like, these are all live blocks. Obviously it's testnet, right? But these are all live blocks that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm biased because I do hold VMPX that I'm not able to sell. I have burned Zen.
Yeah, I don't know. You still hold VMPX?
I can't sell it. I haven't. Nobody's buying this shit, so I'm a forced bag holder because there's nowhere to sell it at. But I do. I have probably like 30,000. which isn't a lot.
Okay. So like, I do think that he'll come through with like something, because I do think the market gets better. So I think people that do have bags and whatever he's done, hopefully he lets everybody participate in that has something to do with the project that he launched. I do think he's going to roll something out to benefit people, because he wants to be a part of the hype. I just don't. I don't know. I just have a trust issue with him, with people like that. But that's just me personally. We'll see. Obviously, like what's his name, Crypto Bra. Definitely trust in him and everything he's building.
He's a part of that team now. I think he officially joined the Zem team as the marketing arm of it and stuff like that. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I haven't followed Bra in a little while. I haven't been on any of his live streams, but he's definitely excited for X1. Trayvon, he came out today, and that's kind of where I seen this from. He actually tweeted about it. He's still bullish on Zen.
Okay, nice.
He's excited. He's excited about Zen. I don't know, man. Not saying this will be successful at all, but it is a potentially a fork of Solana. You're seeing more and more of those pop up, so we will see. And Jack has a diehard community, and a lot of them are from the Hex community, and I think Postchain has failed, so they're going to need somewhere to go, and potentially that is X1 and Zen. I don't know. It's definitely something to just be aware that is existing. Not saying get into it, not saying go out and buy Zen, but I'm actually thinking about potentially throwing a couple of dollars at Zen and burning it, and because that's how you're going to get the airdrop. He's saying the burnt Zen. So I don't know. I don't know. I burnt thousands of dollars in sand. I'm not even joking. It's bad, but I'm hoping. I've been hoping for this airdrop for a long time. So hopefully I get a nice one.
Yeah, it's good news that it's coming though. That's for sure.
Yeah. Testnet, yeah. We'll see if it actually launches. But yeah. So Best in Slot put out a tweet today. They say all of the BRC20 tokens will become programmable. What do you think about Best in Slot? There was a update as well about BRC20s are now live on. I haven't actually dug into this. I
Signet.
probably should, but they're live on Signet. We do know Signet also has OpCat on it, so that's not very promising. But what do you think about Best in Slot going to Signet?
I
Well, it's not
mean,
Best in Slot, right? It's BRC20s.
well, yeah, but Best in Slot's developing it.
Okay.
Kind of same thing as what I just said about X1. Like
Yeah.
I need to see this on mainnet to believe it. They've been talking about BRC 2.0 for a very long time, and like I know these guys are really good people in our space. They're on spaces and stuff like Binary, and Best in Slot does a ton of stuff in terms of like indexing and all that stuff. APIs provided to like even our partners and stuff, right? So like I'm not saying that I don't believe that in their capability. It's just there's so much from the Bitcoin ecosystem that has been about like shipping a product. And I'm ready to kind of play with these new things like Jeff was talking about, something new, something that's makes us kind of scratch our head and be like, oh wow, this is beyond my expectations.
Yeah.
I want that, so I'm gonna have to be patient, and once they roll it out, they'll roll it out. I did take a look. This did make me take a look at my wallet to see what BRC20s I have, because since all of them are programmable, maybe some of these can be brought back to life.
Potentially. What does it mean to you that because we really don't have no idea, but what does it mean? What do you think it means to be programmable as a BRC20?
Smart contract capability type of thing.
Gotcha. It makes sense. And the final thing here is a tweet from Jacob.btc. He's working on creating Hermetica. So Hermetica's token, their stablecoin is called USDH, and it's now live as margin on Veller's perp dex on Stacks. Pretty big for USDH. I'm actually rooting for some of these stable coins, the small ones, Hermeticas of the world, to actually be successful. Bound as well. That's launching on Arch. But do you think some of these lower stable coins could be successful with these big players now coming alive and really kind of pushing, especially with USD1? And we know Strike is putting out one. We know PayPal has one. USDC. Can these little underdogs potentially kind of grow with the overseeing of the U.S. government?
Ooh, it's going to be tough. I don't think they're based out of the U.S. Hermetica, so I think they should be fine in their. Well, it's gonna be tough, man. Because like, if there's regulations in the U.S. and we know that the EU is going to have regulations, then if you're kind of gate kept out of both those markets, then where are you going to operate in Asia? Pretty much, right? Like, so. I don't know. I think we're going to see very quickly after like the Stablecoin Act actually goes into effect, along with the Genius Act, which is underneath the Stable Act, but more of like the lower liquidity or capital requirements. How it's going to affect these, just now type of growing type of stablecoin projects like Hermetica, Bound, Ducat, right? What are they just going to apply? If they apply, are they going to get gate kept? We're going to find out, I think, very quickly.
Yeah. And potentially some of these maybe some of these smaller banks, they might not want to create a dev team from scratch. It might adopt one of these as well. All right. I don't think these companies will go to zero. I think some of them will get bought up, and potentially USDH could be, some other company's thing, or maybe they grow into something really successful. I don't know. It's really hard to say, but I just hope that all they're building isn't for nothing. But it actually benefits them with this legislation and everything that's coming. So, but we'll see. Really curious how the future is going to look like, and really excited for everything in this ecosystem, guys. I am really, really excited for the future of crypto. I'm really excited for the people that are watching right now. I mean, 175 of you guys just shows the market conditions right now, right? This is getting to our normal now. You can just see the bottom I mean, I truly believe the bottom is in for crypto because of where we're at and where we're going. And really, we're looking forward to April, man. Really looking forward to this 8 p.m. Close. A new plan B video tomorrow. A new plan B dot on the chart. Looking forward to kind of the fresh start that Q2 brings.
Yeah, I agree. And I do expect more quality projects coming in the next 6 to 12 months. I'm not saying that the ones out, like there's some that are out very high quality right now. I
Yeah.
just think more stuff that like what kind of Abstract's doing, like, merging both Web 2 and Web 3, but super exciting stuff.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right, let's do it. We appreciate each and every one of you guys, 175 people plus the people on Rumble and Abstract as well. You guys are going to make it for sure. But if you could check out our partners, that we would greatly appreciate that, guys, because they're kind of the second half of what allows us to do this every single day. And we love doing this for you guys. Emblem Vault's going to be the interoperability tooling for Bitcoin Layer 1 assets, more specifically Ordinals. You're going to be able to jump your puppets, node monks, frogs from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Merlin Chain to Abstract to Base, Arbitrum, eventually Solana. And you're going to be able to use their AI agent hustle tool to be able to help you with that. Right. So super exciting stuff for them. They also have their Rune TGE that's coming in September of this year, but you actually can participate in kind of a pre-sale environment on OpenSea. If you just search Emblem Vault founder keys, you should be able to find that. And then once the TGE comes, that gets destroyed and you get the runes that into your Bitcoin wallet. So super exciting stuff. You can learn about all this at emblem.vision. And BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. All you need is an Xverse wallet, some Bitcoin, and 6 Bitcoin blocks. You can start placing bets right away. Their new markets are the Blitz markets, which allows you to 10 minutes to pick up or down for Bitcoin, BNB, Solana. And then you have an additional 10 minutes to see if you won or lost. And if you won, you get paid out immediately. So super exciting stuff, but be responsible about that, of course. And they have other markets on there as well. But a lot of new updates coming from that team. You can learn more at betbtc.win. Artura Finance is the perps and leverage decks of the Bitcoin ecosystem. We will be doing a roundtable pre-record with some, experienced traders to kind of, pick their mind and see how they trade and why they got into it and stuff like that, along with a friendly competition of 150x to see who wins that competition as well. But you're going to be able to trade synthetic Bitcoin fungibles, guys, like Sats, Ordi, maybe Merle, as well as Doggo to the Moon and stuff outside of the ecosystem, XRP, Tau, which is kind of the alpha tokens are hot right now. So that's outside of the subject, but I'm excited about that. Anyways, but you guys can learn all about this at artura.finance. And Fluid Tokens, the first to introduce staking vaults to retail users on Bitcoin Layer 1. Super exciting stuff, guys. Pep Odin, shout out to Pep Odins and to Sparks to be the first Odin.fund runes to be able to bridge back to Bitcoin Layer 1 and open staking vaults for you guys. I believe the Pep Odins vault is still open until I want to say April 10th, but you can go to fluidtokens.com and check that out to confirm there. But also make sure you guys go check out their Discord, especially if you're a builder and you have an established community and you want a staking vault. Go over there, check them out, ask them how to get started. They'll hook you up. You can go to fluidtokens.com to learn more, and their Discord link should be there. And then Merlin Chain, we just went over this with Jeff. They got a lot of stuff, guys. Go take advantage of these free, tokens through their campaigns with free .tech, which is the bridging protocol for Merlin to BNB. You can earn part of that 20,000 Merlin giveaway there. And if you add LP, they're doing a $30,000 kind of bonus as well. So super exciting stuff there. But, if you're looking to build in the Bitcoin ecosystem in a quick environment, you can reach out to their team, right? They said that they're open to it. They have great builder support there, but you can learn all about Merlin Chain at merlinchain.io. And last thing about them, don't forget they have their proof of stake securing the chain staking right now. So you can earn up to 15% APR with Merlin token, and they will be adding Bitcoin very soon, shortly. So stay tuned for that. Lastly, but not least, our integrated partners, make sure that you guys check out Foxy AI, which is building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse, and their first-person shooter game called Cypher Striker, which we are not streaming today, guys, or tomorrow. But maybe picking it up next week. We're going to meet with those guys and see when the next time we can do that. Super fun. But you want to join that because we always have a good time there. And Ordinal Hive is going to be the aggregator Ordinal marketplace for Bitcoin layer 1 and layer 2. Cheapest ordinals around will be on Ordinal Hive. And we thank you guys so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man, as always. And if you guys wouldn't mind checking out OnChainRevolution.io, we have some of the best articles dating all the way back to 2023. Really, you guys want to go check out those articles, man. They'll really get you guys caught up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, we have the #1 VPN, that is Nord. That is just my opinion. But I've tried a lot of VPNs, and paying the $3 for Nord has been exceptional. It's $3 a month. I locked it in for 12 months, so I don't even got to worry about it anymore. It's just done, and I have it and I use it. And just so you guys know, if you ever want to get on MEXC or some of these other exchanges with no KYC, you can use something like NordVPN. It is not, it's not against the law. It's just against their policy. But you could use it like I do. But definitely check out everything that NordVPN offers. They have a whole bunch of other stuff too. They got some really cool security and privacy stuff as well, and you get it all through our link. And if you guys want to go to Bitcoin at 2025 Las Vegas, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be crazy. But do not wait until May to get your tickets. Get them as soon as possible, guys. Definitely even book your trip ahead of time as well, because it's probably going to load up very quickly. And it's going to get really expensive the longer you wait. But get your tickets in April. Do not wait till May. As we get closer, those tickets are going to jump up in price. Right now, industry pass is like $1,500. Last month, 2 months ago, it was like $700. So just know that they're going to be like $3,000 in May. And then the festival pass, which is the second 2 days, it does not get you the first day. The festival pass actually, it's like $500, but it's probably going to be like $1,000 by May. So get your tickets as soon as possible. And if you pay with Bitcoin, you actually get 25% off as well on top of that. And then use our link because it definitely helps the show. We definitely appreciate it. And if you need merch for that event or any event, we have it all here at our store tab. That'll take you to our OnChain Revolution store. And if you guys want us to add anything, Shizzy, can you add my PFP? Sure, man, no problem. We can pretty much add anything you guys want to the store. Definitely check out all of our merch here at OnChainRevolution.io. And guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys, and until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You're not bullish enough. No. You're not bullish enough. No. Look at the price go. Bitcoin controlling. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.